Hi there, it's Kaz here from the Little Shabby Shed. Thanks for passing by this evening. It's great to have you here in the shed. It's my first time ever at doing a video, so please bear with me. Fingers crossed it'll all go okay. I wanted to share with you a tutorial that I've recently featured on my blog using Ranger's collage glue stick. The reason I wanted to show you by way of video rather than doing it with the photographs that I've got on my blog is that you'll really see the effect that this technique gives you. Fingers crossed, like I say, it'll go okay. So what will you need? You will need one of these, a Ranger collage glue stick. You will need some stamps, a blending tool, and you will also need some distress ink. Okay, so we're going to start this tutorial by taking the lid off our glue and applying it onto one of our stamps. Now I'm using Tim Holt's mixed media background stamps by Stampers Anonymous, and I'm just applying the glue straight onto the stamp very gently, and if I hold that up to the camera you'll kind of see the amount of glue that I've used on there. Okay, and we're just going to apply it to our tag very randomly, and you'll kind of hear like a squelchy sound as you remove the stamp from the tag. You don't need to do the whole of the stamp with the glue because we are stamping randomly. There's no need to really sort of glue up the whole of the stamp. Okay, and I might use this one as well. It's got a little bit more texture to it. So again, just apply very gently onto your stamp, and you can kind of see again that's how much you need. And I'm just going to apply again very randomly on my tag, and maybe a little bit more there. Okay, and I'm going to now take my stamps, and these will need cleaning sort of straight away because we're using a glue. We don't want the glue to sort of stick to our stamps, so it's up to you how you remove the glue. If you want to run it under a tap and rub it with some warm soapy water, that's fine. If you want to spritz it with water and wipe it off, that's fine as well. I'm just going to use my wet wipe and just go over it very quickly because I'm showing you, and I promise that I'll clean them properly when I get back into the house. Okay, so I'm left with my tag. I'm just going to give it a quick blast with the heat gun, and that'll just take any more of the tackiness of the glue off. And you'll kind of know when it's dry because you can kind of rub your finger over the top of it. There's a little bit there. Yep, that seems fine. Okay, so I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but you can kind of see a little bit of the shine of where the glue's stuck to the tag. Okay, so now you will need your blending tool and a distress ink. Now I'm using walnut stain, and I'm using a darker colour because I really want to show you the effect that this technique gives you. So using a darker colour shows that better. Okay, so I'm just going to apply the ink, blending tool to the ink, and then start applying it to my tag. And you can kind of see almost immediately that the glue is starting to act as a resist to the distress ink. And if you wanted to, you could leave it like this, because I quite like this look. It's quite grungy, but I would suggest sort of leaving this to dry because it sort of leaves like an oily residue, and you can still feel it's very tacky from where the wet ink has gone onto the glue. So it really needs to dry if you want to leave it like that. Okay, so I'm just doing this really quickly, but you will see now that the glue has made a resist with the ink. Okay, and it is still very sort of quite tacky still now I've added that ink to it. Okay, so to remove the ink off the glue, we are going to use a wet wipe. Okay, and we need to do it in quite sort of sweeping motions. We don't want to rub the tag, because that'll just make the tag pulp, and that's not what we want. So you're just going to rub in a sweep like so, and you'll see that it's actually removing that oily residue on the top of the surface. I can never say that, surface. There we go. And I love this. This is the best part of it, because it will now leave the resist. And you will take some of the colour off onto your wet wipe, and that's not a problem, because what we'll do is we'll just dry that off. And if you want to, you can take your distress ink again and just ink around the edges, and it will give you that depth as well. And again, you can go over the top of where you've put your resist and then wipe it off if you wanted to, if you've put too much on. So there you can see that you've got your nice background now as a resist. Okay, and that means that you can still stamp over the top of it. I'm going to take some of Ranger's archival ink and one of my not so clean stamps. Like I say, I'm not very good at keeping my stamps clean, but I use this stamp an awful lot, so I'm not too worried about it. And I'm just going to ink it up with the archival, and then position where I want it to go. I think I'm just going to put it a little bit off centre, like so. Stamp down, remove it, and then I'm just going to dry that off. And you've got your background. So I hope you've found that useful. Thanks very much for passing by, and I hope that you will pass by again soon. Thanks very much.